Good morning. I'm here this morning to ask why the government of Justin Trudeau has refused to put in place any protections for the privacy rights of Canadians with the revelation of the hack that occurred at Clearview AI. The hack of the Clearview AI user list has revealed widespread access to this technology that has not only the power to infringe on the basic rights of Canadians, but may have been driven by the illegal access of the personal photos of millions of Canadians. And yet we've seen no leadership from the government on putting in basic ground rules to protect us from the abuse of this technology. We now learn that individual police officers and detachments across Canada had access to the Clearview AI app. Windsor, Ottawa, Toronto, the Rcmp, the OPP, Hamilton, Edmonton have all used this technology. And when the Rcmp was initially asked, they denied using it. And then they changed their story once the user list was leaked. The OPP say they only learned that their officers were using the APP after a media inquiry. So does that tell us that individual officers were engaged in using Clearview AI without any oversight? We learned from Ottawa Police that Clearview AI technology was made available to individual police officers to download and trial for free again. Are there no standards in place? This is something that Minister Bill Blair has to explain, how it's possible that the government is not looking to put in place basic protections. Because Clearview AI said that this was strictly used as a police tool. But we now learn that this tool was used by all manner of individuals, businesses, repressive regimes, and even rich men to keep tabs on their daughters. The potential for this technology to track our personal lives and our movements is positively dystopian, and we deserve basic protections from our government. Now, I understand the police argument that this technology could be a very valuable tool in going after child predators, and I totally agree. That's why I ask, why was there no judicial oversight? Why were there no standards in place about how it was being used? Because it's equally clear that the potential to abuse citizen rights is enormous. So, the question I want to know is, has Mr. Bill Blair made any calls to the Rcmp about using a technology that may have been based on illegally obtaining database of Canadian citizens? Was the Rcmp aware that the technology was being used by individual officers? Did this come from above or did this come from below? If they did not know, then why not? Who on the forces had access to this technology? And how was the technology obtained through Clearview AI? And the question that we need to know is, has this technology been used in any way to target other potential cases? And I bring to you an example. Right now, we know the Rcmp are the provincial police forces in many provinces. Jason Kenney has introduced Bill 1 to go after Indigenous and environmental protesters. There's already questions about the legality of that legislation being put out. Will the Rcmp make a very clear public statement that they will not use this invasive technology to build databases on environmental and Indigenous protesters? Mr. Bill Blair needs to explain if he's going to stand up for Canadian civil rights on this issue. In terms of the overall government response in protecting Canadian privacy rights, I give the Trudeau government a total F. Minister David Lametti, the Attorney General, has been asleep at the switch. He's refused to put in place a moratorium on this technology, even though jurisdictions across Europe and in many municipalities in the United States are already moving because they recognize the threat. This past week, the government walked away on their promise on a digital charter of protecting and updating privacy rights because they said they're not ready. I mean, what are they waiting for? We have the Privacy Commissioner in federal court fighting Facebook to protect Canadian citizen rights without any help from this government. We have the all-party committee report on protecting privacy that was ignored by this government. And now we have widespread use of an invasive technology that may be illegal, and still the government says they're not ready to protect our privacy rights. That's not good enough. I'm asking the government, what are they waiting for, and what tools will they put in place to protect the rights of citizens?